Well, hello, everyone. This is John Byrne with Poets and Quants. Welcome to another edition of Fridays with Sandy. That would be Sandy Kreisberg in Boston, who is the founder of HBSGuru.com and reader of tea leaves at Harvard Business School and other great schools. And we have straight from Italy, in fact, one of my favorite places in the world, Tuscany, Pietro Modini, who is targeting MIT, INSEAD, London Business School, ESADE, and ESA in Spain. He had worked with KPMG Advisory doing M&A and valuation work for them for about 3.5 years. He has a 3.9 from the University of Pisa in finance. Also, he has a master's degree in finance, and he's got a 720 GMAT.
Good. What we got here is something a little unusual. We've got a 28-year-old with an Italian educational background. People from Italy don't usually apply to, well, US business schools. They may apply to the European schools that Pietro is interested in. And he's got an employment history that had 8 months with GE. That's in Florence. GE is a wonderful company to apply from business school from. And then after 8 months, he spent 3.5 years at KPMG, which is a big four accounting firm, as a corporate financial analyst. So that's another good thing. So I think and then the stats, the 3.8 and the 720, boy, I think those are at median or above for the European schools he's applying to. So you're a strong applicant and you got a lot going for you. Let's just go through this though. Could you tell me why you joined GE in May of 2017?
Yeah, so basically, GE came to my school and I had the opportunity to, network a bit with some of the professionals. And then, they guided me through, the environment. I really liked it. I really loved, the sort of culture there.
Well, what was your job? Productivity analyst, intern? What does that mean?
Basically, I was part of the productivity and project controlling, function.
Yeah, who were your colleagues there? Who were your peers?
Well, they were basically project controllers that, basically.
No, were they your age? Did they come from leading?
Yeah. Basically, they were also my age, but the average age was a bit older, was about 35.
How come?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Basically, there is a lot of rotation within GE. So, I did meet people. They just changed function.
But you were the only person who was a recent grad?
No, there were other two people, recent grads, and then myself.
Okay, that's your peer group. Okay, so when you're presenting yourself, you go, I was hired in a program at GE. They hired 3 people. And we were the productivity analyst intern class.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you've got to explain this. You were there for 8 months.
Yeah.
Before you joined KPMG. So tell me what happened at GE and why you joined KPMG.
Well, to be fair,
usually a little short tenure.
Well, yeah, but to be fair, I did receive, so I was getting along quite well. Well, I did receive a full-time offer from G, and also, I did receive the opportunity to join the FMP, which is the Financial Management Program, which is basically their leadership program. But then, I got an offer from KPMG from the corporate finance division, and really M&A was I really wanted.
Okay, I'm going to just be tough on you here because that's where I am.
Okay.
You stayed at GE for 8 months, but how long had you been there before you started sniffing around for another job? You said you received an offer from KPMG, but that didn't come out of the air, right?
Well, yeah, but to be fair, I did send the application for GE and KPMG at the same time, but then, KPMG just waited a few months. I don't really know the reason, but then, I got a call from them. And so basically I interviewed and I decided to join.
How come? You already had a great job.
Yeah, but it was.
I'm just asking, man.
Yeah, it was basically, I did some projects during uni about M&A, and then, M&A really was something, for me was very fascinating. So I decided to take this
Okay, so
opportunity.
tell me, what had you been doing at GE?
Well,
Productivity analyst, intern.
yeah, basically our job was to sort of implement new projects to either reduce costs or increase revenues. And, our segment was focused on, long-term agreements between GE and its
Okay,
clients.
let me look. You're a powerful guy. You got a lot going for you. Let me just say, you've got to get this story in bullet form. You've got to
Okay.
explain what you've been doing. For each job, you have to explain why you took the job. Productivity analyst, intern, you really need to explain what that is. You go, GE would start a new project, and as part of that project, they did an analysis of what the projected costs would be. This was kind of a almost internal due diligence. That's what it sounds like, right?
Yeah, basically we would look at different projects and to see whether there was some room to reduce costs or increase revenues. Basically, this what was our job
Good.
was
So
like.
that's a good way to do it.
Okay.
And I was with a class of 2 peers. It was a class of 3.
Yeah.
And what was your day-to-day like there? I mean, why were you so fast to drop that and join KPMG after only 8 months?
Well, like I really liked the job, but when KPMG opportunity came to life, basically I decided to join, and it wasn't because I didn't like G, just because I wanted to do M&A.
That's not a
Basically.
good explanation. Oh, you wanted to do M&A. That's the
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah.
So
I
you
wanted to
have
do
to,
M&A.
when you tell this story, you have to explain what you're doing at GE as being interesting, but mostly sort of an accounting function.
Okay. Yeah.
And then ironically, KPMG, which is an accounting firm, but has an M&A arm, offered me a job in M&A. So that's the reason I took it.
Okay.
It
And
was
you want
just
to make sure that you say that they offered you a position in their leadership training program.
yeah, and their
Okay.
rotational leadership program.
Okay.
Yeah, that's real important.
Okay.
So that brings us to then July of 2020 when you decided to leave. So what's your explanation for that?
Well, basically, COVID had a really deep personal impact on my life. So I decided to just, do something a bit more meaningful and, take some months off and, dedicate myself 100% to do volunteering and help others, basically.
Well, that's a okay beginning of a conversation, but then they're going to say, well, what did you do during those 7 months?
Well, at the moment, right now, so we are working with the Italian Association of People with Down Syndrome, and we are supporting them because there are some people that actually, have.
Okay, that's progress. You've got to really
Okay.
turn that into as much as you possibly can without committing
Okay.
perjury. Okay, I'm
Okay.
active in the Italian Down Syndrome Foundation. COVID has really hit them hard. I'm working with friends. I'm engaged. Okay, engaged is a good
Okay.
word that covers, engage is a blanket that can cover a lot of
Okay.
a lot of people. I'm engaged in projects to deal with this, and this. So that's real important. And then my plan is to then, when do you want to start business school?
Well, September 2021.
Right. So you'll be sort of a volunteer until for however long that is from where we are now.
I don't know, next 6, 7 months, 8 months.
Good. So that's got to be your explanation of things.
Okay.
Aside from that, there's a lot going. John, do you know how hard it is to get into, name some of those schools? I'm not as familiar with the European schools as you are.
Yeah, so ESADE and ESA in Spain, I think you'd have a really good chance. NCOD, it's very competitive over there right now, but you think you probably have a shot there. And if you want to go to McKinsey, Bain, BCG, of the schools that you mentioned, that's probably the best school for you.
Yeah. So have we got this on the record? What do you want? What job do you want when you graduate? PA.
Well, short term, I would definitely pick management consulting, possibly BCG, Bain, or McKinsey.
Yeah, good. Okay. So, John, so you've got to go to a business school that feeds into those firms.
Yeah.
That's an important piece of diligence you have to do when you investigate these schools. How hard it is.
Of all of them, NCOD is the best one.
Yeah. Do you ever think of, Pietro, this is just out of the blue, do you ever think of going to a business school in North America?
Well, yeah, I could value that. I could take that into opportunity, of course.
MIT, I think, is a hard one.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think you could go to somewhere else in the United States probably and do very well and get to McKinsey, Bain, BCG.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think this is a Harvard Business School application. Do you, Sandy?
Well, yes and no. Why not? He's got a 3.8 and a 720. He's still in the running.
He's got the numbers.
Yeah, he's coming from Italy, which is, my guess, a plus. I don't think
it is a plus.
Yeah, I don't think there are a lot of Italians.
And he's worked for 2 big, well-known companies.
And he's working for, no shame in working for KPMG. What's keeping him out of Harvard Business School?
I wonder if his departure from KPMG and
so that the only thing is the 7 months.
Yeah, you got to make sure that whatever you commit yourself to after the Down syndrome work you're doing.
Yeah, okay, we've said this before, but this is critical.
It's substantial.
You've got to package that 7 months. Okay, you know what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
You've got to strongly package it in Word and certainly in Word and in fact.
Okay.
To the degree you can.
And they don't want you to be a volunteer. They want you to create something or be a leader of something.
There you go.
And giving back. Okay.
John 8
volunteering is not going to be enough during this 7-month period.
Well, if you lead a volunteer effort,
if you lead it, got to lead it though.
Yeah, I've been a leader in volunteer efforts for that's important. So you have to provide the factual basis to make that claim plausible, possible.
Okay.
If you're lucky, maybe even, honest, but we don't need that so much as plausible. Okay.
Okay.
Given your background in finance, I think that maybe the 10-month program at NCOD and the fact that they, basically shovel so many people into McKinsey, Bain, BCG, I think the opportunity costs are lower. The
if you can get into a leading consulting firm with 10 months of business school,
you may as well do it.
Yeah, you're not learning anything. All you're doing in business school is paying them money to get, a passport kind of to the next phase of jobs. So if you can do a 10-month program and they're feeders, that's what you should do. And don't you think his chances at INSEAD are, what do you think they are?
I think they're probably 40%.
Yeah.
But the crucial thing is a 7-month lapse.
Yeah.
You do, and the need for you to have a leadership position in your social enterprise, whatever.
Explaining the 7 months. Yeah. My social enterprise. That's what you call it. That's the fancy word there.
Yeah.
Social enterprise engagements.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's our advice to you.
Totally.
You're a solid guy, and I think you should be able. I think you should be able to do it. The numbers are very powerful.
Yeah.
Well, they're good. They're real good.
And the names and the employer names are good.
Yeah. It's an interesting, I don't know off the top of my head how attractive an Italian passport holder is to European schools. Do you, John? Or is that like Italy? Is that like a underrepresented?
I think it is a little underrepresented. I noticed you don't have Bocconi on your list, which is fine. I think you want more of a non-Italian experience. It looks like it to me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So look, NCI is the best place for you. There's no doubt about it in my mind.
What about Oxford or Cambridge?
Those are great places for you too. They're also one-year MBA programs.
And not all that hard to get into.
No, not nearly as hard as MIT, that's for sure, and as hard as NCI. And here's the thing about Cambridge and Oxford. There is a big social enterprise element there, much more so. So that may, sync with your values and what you're trying to do right now.
Yeah, Oxford or Cambridge would be great for you. It's also, it's a great piece of branding after the smoke clears. You go, well, I'm an Oxford man.
That's true. That's probably that's probably a really good idea. Instead of applying to MIT and any other US schools, I think you should add Cambridge and Oxford.
Yeah.
Okay.
If your goal is just to get a job at McKinsey, that would be the great way to do it.
Yeah, totally. And since you liked, you did some time at Durham Business School.
Yeah, right.
You liked your time there. That would be a plus.
Okay.
There you go. Pietro,
Shalom.
good luck to you, okay?
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
You're going to do something really cool with your friends in Latin America. Can't wait to hear about it. So apply.
You will.
And if you do something cool and you're a leader of it, you'll get into NCI. You'll get into Cambridge and Oxford.
Okay.
John,
Adios. Ciao. Shalom.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much.
Fridays with Sandy.
Hi, everybody.